Welcome back, everybody, for Maranatha moment number 4. And we gathered today by this relatively new piece of art that's in our church. It's in the chancel by the organ and the piano. This was donated to St. Peter's through a friend of the congregation who had it commissioned as a design for a silk scarf. And the original was given to us through Terry Smith of the 8 o'clock service, and now it adorns our chancel. And it reminds us that in a weary year, we need to await the unexpected. Now, some of you have seen the Hunger Games movie or read the books, and this is a story of a dystopian future in North America in which the United States no longer exists, but it's rather 12 impoverished districts ruthlessly ruled from the center from a lavishly wealthy capital city. And as a punishment for a failed rebellion decades earlier, every year the districts have to offer a teen boy and a teen girl as tributes to the capital. And these teenagers are forced to fight to the death in what's called the Hunger Games, to the last person surviving in a vast, lethal arena of survival and combat. And the Hunger Game that lasted the longest, the one that's in the movie, lasted for 18 days of televised entertainment extravaganza. Now, each tribute is drawn randomly by a lottery. And in the Appalachian district, this frail girl named Primrose was selected at random as tribute for her district. And as she stepped forward, this frail, sickly girl, like a lamb to the slaughter, everybody fell silent, knowing that she would never survive. And so her big sister, Katniss Everdeen, full of rage and love, steps out and says, "I volunteer as tribute in her place." She volunteers to take Primrose's place at the altar of sacrifice. And she does so in the likeness of Jesus Christ. And here he is. There is his crown, which is quite unexpected. Because as we've seen looking at Jesus' genealogy, from the lineage of Jesus, you'd expect a conquering king, someone just like David, defeating Israel's enemies like the Philistines or the Romans. And that's how he was greeted on Palm Sunday. Notice the palms in our artwork here. Greeted as a conquering king on Palm Sunday as he walked into Jerusalem. But in a great shocking reversal, in Holy Week, a week later, he was crowned with thorns and hung on a cross. Though Isaiah had promised back in Isaiah chapter 53 that Messiah would be a suffering servant, Jesus' suffering was truly unexpected in his day. Now, we know from experience that God often works in surprising ways, right? He approaches solutions in ways that are totally different than we do. Now, Israel thought that their biggest problem was Rome. Beat Caesar, build the empire of Israel in Rome's place. But by suffering and dying, Jesus beat a far more ancient foe. Sin and death itself, the adversary, the devil. Now, how unexpected it was that blood should cleanse from sin, that wounds could bring healing, or that death could bring life. And yet that's exactly what Jesus did when he came. And if that's the case in the past, then what kind of unexpected acts of restoration can we expect in the future when he comes? So, folks, in a weary year, let's expect the unexpected. Maranatha.